Hello and welcome back to DJCamel Reviews, and today I'm reviewing You Only Live Twice, the fifth James Bond film starring Sean Connery, which came out in 1967 and was directed by Lewis Gilbert. It's set in Japan for the duration of the film, other than the pre-title sequence, and this plays quite a big part in why Sean Connery would not return in the next film. After the huge financial success of Thunderball, which is still the highest grossing James Bond film to date, adjusted for inflation, there were just huge amounts of fans and paparazzi on set, and Sean Connery himself got really agitated, and he also didn't think that he was getting paid enough, so the next film, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, would star a different actor in the lead role. However, he's in this film, and his presence isn't as strong as in the previous four. He still delivers all the lines perfectly well, and he looks like he's enjoying himself. But it's not as captivating a performance. But many fans have said that he looks a bit tired in the role, but honestly, I think this is the most fun out of the first five films, tone-wise anyway. It's just a big adventure film with a lovely location in Japan, and I think the cinematography really, demonstrates it really well, with all the, tropical and exotic locations that they go to. It's just the one country, as most of these early films are, but I think you see a nice range of landscapes, and the culture comes to the forefront of the story, especially in the second act. The first act is full of, action and fights and car chases, and this wonderful scene with a gadget from Q called Little Nelly, which is like this toy helicopter that Sean Connery flies around in, and it was a real plane that they made. And it's a bit funny seeing Sean Connery, who's supposed to be really super cool and the suavest agent there is in this like toy helicopter. But it's a good scene with good music, but the film does slow down in the second act before a huge battle takes place in this wonderful Ken Adam designed set in the volcano at the end, and Bond has to stop World War III. It's a big plot like Thunderball was, with the world on the line, so the stakes are high. But the second act, Bond has to get married to a Japanese woman, and he gets like surgery, or not surgery, but like he's made to look Japanese, and it's just a bit insensitive and slows the film down. It's not aged particularly well, and it just seems a bit pointless, really. The film has a lot of wit and charm and adventure for the first act and the third act, but the middle section just goes overboard. It becomes more like a travel documentary to me. I think the song and the pre-title sequence and the title sequence itself are some of my favourites in the whole franchise, with beautiful song sung by Nancy Sinatra. You Only Live Twice is a really enjoyable Bond film with some great lines, a good villain, although Blofeld, played by Donald Pleasance, I never think that there's actually a good representation of Blofeld. Not that I've read the books, but it just doesn't seem like a character that has much going on. He shows up like an hour and a half into the film, like Dr. No did, and he doesn't really have much of a screen presence, unfortunately. But the side villains and side characters are all good. Bond himself is passable in this film, and there's lots of adventure and just wonderful, charming locations and work behind the camera as well as in front of it. I'd give You Only Live Twice a 7, and I've enjoyed all these Sean Connery films, and probably say this is not just below From Russia with Love. I think From Russia with Love is Connery's best film, and all the rest are good, enjoyable spy adventures, but they just don't quite live up to that film. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10, and I'll see you again on DJCamel Reviews. Goodbye.